next speaker is Dr. Euis, Holisotan, Hakim, who received her bachelor's in chemistry from the Institute of Technology at Bandung in 1980, and she joined the research group of Professor Shamsu Arifin Ahmed at ITB. She received a master's degree in 1989 and a PhD in 1994 from the same university. She got a research fellow at the University of Tokyo in 1988, DSIR New Zealand 1991, University of Western Australia 1992, and postdoctoral research with Professor Shigeo Iwasaki, the University of Tokyo 1996, and with Professor Takeya at Tokyo University of Pharmacy and Life Science in 2000. She was promoted to associate professor in 2000 and as full professor in 2004. Her research interests include bioactive natural products, bioactive natural product compounds for anti-tumor and anti-malaria, and development of plant tissue culture for secondary metabolite production and combinatorial biosynthesis. Dr. Euis will talk to us about exploration of Morus plant as a source of bioactive chemicals. So please.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to thank the organizing committee for the opportunity which enable me to present my result in this conference. The topic of my talk this afternoon is exploration of Morus plant as a source of bioactive chemical. In connection with our continuing study on the Indonesian plant, we selected 3 family of plants, namely Lauraceae, Dipterocarpaceae, and Moraceae for the phytochemical evaluation. From the Lauraceae family of plants, we got the mostly benzyl isoquinoline alkaloid, and from the Dipterocarpaceae, we isolated mostly stilbenoid, oligomer stilbenoid, including dimer, tetramer, and so on. This afternoon, I would like to explain focus on Moraceae family of plant. In order to study on family Moraceae, we evaluate several species of 2 genus of Moraceae, namely Autocarpus and Morus. This afternoon, I would like to focus on Morus genus. The Morus genus, known as mulberry, is widely distributed in Asia, Africa, and America, but cultivated in especially in Asia, especially in China and also Indonesia, also and Japan. This family of plant, this genus, economically and medically very important because this species used for the food of silkworm, Bombyx mori. So widely cultivated for the silk production. In our country, used as traditional medicine as anti-inflammation, anti-tumor, and anti-malaria. And in Japan and China, popular with the sohakuhi or sangbaipi in China. This is the picture of some species of Morus cultivated in our laboratory, of course for the secondary metabolic production. We have 2 species of genus, namely Morus macroura and Morus alba, endemic for Indonesia, but we cultivated some species of genus. Based on phytochemical evolution of these species, firstly we isolated metabolic secondary from Morus macroura, endemic species and very rare and almost endangered in my country. From these species, we isolated some phenolic compound, including arylbenzofuran, then stilben, including dimer stilben, also flavonoid. When we can see here that most of the phenolic compound have the highly cytotoxicity with IC50 1.6 and 1.1. And we continue with the another species and the other species of Morus macroura. And the interesting compound isolated from the Morus macroura is Diels-Alder compound. This compound is very unique characteristic of this species. This compound is a cycloaddition product of dihydrophenyl phenol with SDIN with the sulfur dienophil. In this case, stilben, dihydrophenyl stilben, and then arylbenzofuran, hydrophenyl benzofuran with the chalcone as a dienophil. So we pay attention in this chemical because this is very interesting chemically. Another species of genus we evaluate also Morus nigra, Morus australis, and another Morus. And from these species also we got some phenolic compound like stilben, arylbenzofuran, also flavonoid. And if we see here that most of the phenolic compound isolated from the genus Morus have the isoprenyl attached with the skeleton. And if we see here that most of the prenyl, isoprenyl content of this skeleton have the highly bioactivity than the phenolic compound without isoprenyl. Another phenolic compound isolated from this genus, also the dimer of stilben, alboxylol, also hybrid of stilben and arylbenzofuran, and also the flavonoid derivative. This is another compound including flavonoid and also hybrid of chalcone with the phenylpropane. And we evaluate the bioactivity of some compound isolated from this genus, and we see here that some of the compound show the very highly activated against marine leukemia P38, although for the anti-malaria, Plasmodium falciparum 3D7 is the strain chloroquine resistant for Plasmodium. And we can see here that Cudrafapon or artonin A has the bioactivity more than more active than chloroquine as control. Also for the cytotoxicity again base-88, we got the artonian with IC50 0.6. So as we already mentioned that the Diels-Alder adduct compound is very interesting chemically. So we try to develop tissue culture, namely organ culture or root culture and leaf culture. And we also conducted the isolation of the enzyme which involved in the one step of the biosynthetic production of the Diels-Alder compound. And recently we developed also endophytic microbe for the source of the metabolic secondary of Morus. From the root culture of the Morus macroura, we got several phenolic compound, mostly Diels-Alder adduct. It is interesting. We got 5 compound, Diels-Alder adduct, cyclohydrazine product of hydrophenyl phenol with the chalcone as dienophil. From Morus catayana, from the root culture also, we got again Diels-Alder adduct, and here we got the methoxylated Diels-Alder adduct. This is the new compound. And then we develop also root culture of this species, and from this culture we got the precursor of this Alder adduct, namely chalcone, moraceae, and isobapal chalcone, and also we got the Diels-Alder adduct. If we learn about the biogenesis, that the key role of the enzyme which product the Diels-Alder adduct is Diels-Alderase. And in this work, we try to isolate the Diels-Alderase, use the root culture which produce the mostly Diels-Alder adduct compound. We use the substrate isoprenyl chalcone as a precursor, namely moraceae, and when we use the crude enzyme isolated from the root culture, we got the Diels-Alder adduct quinone J, and we can see here a pic of the product. Analysis, LCMS analysis of the product of reaction, we get also pic of the quinone J as Diels-Alder adduct product. To purify and fractionation, we try to separation of the crude enzyme, and we got that fraction of 40 to 60. This is very intense, potent for activity on this Alderase. This time we try to purify this fraction, and we got some band for the this protein. This is still in progress. And then recently we also developed the endophytic microbe from all parts of this species. And we got several fungi from this species, from Morus catayana and Morus macroura, Morus macroura and try to scale up and to prepare the extract from this fungi. And we monitor with the TLC, and we got a very interesting spot here. So many from media, and so far we got some interesting chemical from the fungi. We got also the cytokalasin, like compound isolated by Asakawa sensei from another fungi. That cytokalasin. And very interesting here that the most of the compound is very active against P88 with a highly cytotoxicity. And C compound is the new compound. So I would like to conclude that Morus plant contain very interesting chemical, including stilben, arylbenzofuran, flavonoid, and Diels-Alder type adduct, with a variety of important bioactivities, namely anti-malaria and cytotoxicity. Development of tissue culture produced mostly Diels-Alder type adduct, and the key raw enzyme with responsible on Diels-Alder adduct production successfully isolated from the root culture of the species. Some endopetic microbe identified a single strain and afforded several compounds. Exploration of a Morus plant promising to be a valuable source of potential bioactive. I would like to thank you for the financial support for Center Grant and also Herbarium Bogarensis for identification of the species. Also Japan Foundation for Cancer Research for supplying marine cell, and Ikoro Abe as collaborator, research collaborator. We work under GA Space. Thank you for your
Is this plant or plant used in traditional medicine in Indonesia?
Yes.
So the source of your choosing it, you don't go to get traditional use before you go for it. Okay, that's great. Thanks. Any question?
Yeah. Sorry.
Flip back slides.
Okay. You isolated the benzofuran, fruman. Do you have the dihydroxyapine compound from Kua? Seven member ring.
We got from avocado group.
Right.
Sequencing product of isopreneur attached to C3 with the OIS B ring. But from avocado, from Morus, mostly isopreneur, 3 isopreneur.